I believe that the lack of musical participation among both our young and old is a leading cause of the loneliness that is so prevalent today. And to explain to you why, I have to tell you how it gained such importance to the world and to me. For the first few years of my piano journey, I was kind of an isolated and awkward kid, but that was because I had no community who enjoyed music too. When I found that group at the high school that I went to, my personality and social sense blew up. I had a sense of purpose, and I figured out that for me at least, it was the presence of music, not just another hobby, that improved my life experience so much. Music has been transforming work to ritual, ritual to ceremony, and ceremony to magic for quite some time now. From fighting wars to garnering peace, music has pretty much done it all since the beginning of time. We learned to make music before we could speak, and without the elements of music like pitch and rhythm, it would be pretty difficult for us to communicate at all, as most of our understanding of one another doesn't even come from words themselves. In a way, we evolved alongside organized sounds. Without them, our blood pressure, anxiety, and pain go up, while our sleep quality, memory, and happiness all go down. But while our civilization as a whole has never stopped making music, as individuals, most of us just don't care. As it evolved, it migrated from the village to the workplace to specialized music buildings, which we have to pay to get into now. But it also took something huge with it: community. You see, after the agricultural revolution, we had time to settle down and build the physical elements of society, like churches, temples, and music halls, where music became more centralized. But we weren't set on our current path yet, at least not until the church decided that this new staff notation thing would be a marvelous tool to control what and how music could be played. This is kind of the point where I knew the path was set, because now the main way that people could learn music correctly was to learn staff notation. And I'm not saying music would be better off without the past 10,000 years of its history. I'm just saying that this was the birth of musical gatekeeping. In other words, music no longer belonged to everyone. It belonged to a select group of people who we've dubbed composers. This is why, as individuals, we almost never make music for ourselves, at least not as a self-constrained activity, because we've relegated its creation to specific people instead of everyone. It was for a long time the primary way to connect with people past social, linguistic, and even moral boundaries, and what kept small communities alive through the belief that music was magic and connected us to things beyond our world. I know this isn't truly scientific, but the relatively sudden decline of something that kept us together for so long has to have some sort of negative effect on us. With this in mind, you might be able to understand me when I say that the absence of music participation is making us lonely.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Annie, this is all well and good, but this is all speculation. There's no proof here. Where's the proof that this actually works? Here's your proof, you doubters.
At the time, I kind of thought I was in love. She was kind, smart, beautiful, and best of all, loved music. But there was still one problem. I liked her a lot, but didn't actually know her well enough to just warrant a date up front. So in my mind, the solution was obvious. I'll invite her to improvise together. So we set a date, a time, a location. I flirted with a hand heavier than that of a neutron star. I sat at the piano, she pulled out her clarinet, and we played. And we had a ton of fun doing so. We laughed, got frustrated with each other, and had to compromise to get what we both wanted out of the jam session, I guess. Kind of what a relationship is like. Funny. You see where I'm going here? So, what's the solution? How do we step towards fixing a problem with more and more of our world classifying music studies as a waste of time and not critical to development? And perhaps most importantly, how do we avoid being insufferably annoying to our friends and family while doing so? To answer that, step 1, learn a musical instrument and learn how to freaking improvise. I cannot overstate how important this is. I made some videos that I'll leave down in the description to help you guys out with this, but the gist of it is to teach yourself something that provides value to other people and to yourself. Step 2, flaunt it. Well, okay, don't flaunt it, but talk about it as much as appropriate. Your ability to play music, that is. Kind of like a vegan, but with no superiority complex, if you can help it. You want to let people know that you do something semi-unique and interesting, because nobody wants to be friends with you. Nobody wants to be friends with somebody as uninteresting as Nobody wants to be friends with somebody who doesn't interest them. Step 3. The most important to get right is to be willing to play with others. After all, after sufficient flashing of the feathers, you have to be willing to fly. Relax, have fun, try to meet new people who like what you like, and you'll realize for yourself that playing music with others is a seriously underrated tool for starting new friendships and meeting new people. Okay. Oh, we're done here. If you made it to the end, thank you. I always appreciate people finishing something that took me a lot of effort to make. Also, I want to hear your story so I can know what kind of a musician you are, and so I know what to make of you guys next time. So, if desired, share your thoughts down in the comments. I'll also likely be setting up a Patreon account soon so I can finance my mollusk collection. I also might use it to improve these videos. Possibly. Bye.